Hello there and welcome back. In this particular film, we are looking at another word problem, and this is a very work-intensive problem. There is a lot that we have to do here. So let's jump right in and read the problem. A class of students was asked how many television sets are in their houses. Their answers are shown below. Find the mean, median, mode, and range. So the first thing I wanted to do is show you how to read one of these tables. This is a table that's used sometimes to show a distribution, a frequency of events or items. It helps us to see a lot of things all at once. But I want to be sure that you know how to read these. So the first thing I have to realize is that the 1, 2, 3, 4 are talking about television sets in the house. So if I think about my own house, we have 3 television sets. So I would fall in the 3 category. You may have more than 4. It's just that in this particular data set, everybody said 1 to 4. You could have 0. Some people may not have a television. So it could be any range on this table. It's just for this particular set of data, this happens to be what we're looking at. So to help you understand a little bit, I'm going to show you how to make a frequency table. And if you go on to college, you probably are going to see this again. So this is a good way to get started. And right here, we're going to list our choices. So I asked these students, maybe in a college class, how many television sets are in your homes? And they say their answers, and I write them down. So let's look at the ones. How many people, and you have to realize too that X is one person. So in the 1 category, I see 5 X's. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people said that they have 1 TV. The 2s, there were 3 people. The 3s, there were 2. And the 4s, there were 2. So if I count the X's or the tally marks, some people I much prefer tallies. They're much easier for me to count. Either way, I have a total of 12 people. So there are 12 students in this class, and I know that by counting the X's or by counting the tally marks. Either way. So in my college class of 12 students, I asked them the question, and I have charted their information. Both of these graphs are saying the same thing. It's just that some people prefer the plot on the left. I prefer the frequency table on the right. Okay, we are supposed to find mean, median, mode, and range. So let's start with mean. It doesn't really matter. But I want you to be very, very careful with mean. Okay? This is one reason I wanted to do this problem, is to help you know how to actually add these things up. We are finding the mean number of TVs, not the mean number of people. Okay? That's very, very important to understand. I'm not looking for the mean number of individuals. I'm looking for the average number of TVs in the house. So when I go to write this, I have to be very, very careful. So watch what I'm going to do here. The ones. I asked my students, and 5 people said I have 1 TV. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many people said they have 2 TVs? 1, 2, 3. And I'll tell you what, let me do it this way. I know that can't make much sense. Got 5 of these, or 5 of those, 5 of these. Okay. 2 of these, 3 of those, 3 of those, 3 of those. Does that help when I color code? Okay, let's look at our 3s. We've got 2 of those, or if you're looking at the tally, it's written right there. So I need 2 of those. I would be one of those people because my house has 3. We don't ever watch them, but it does. Okay, the 4s. Let's use green. That pink's a little bit. So 2 people answered that column, so let's put them down here. They must have a lot of children or just like to watch TV in every room. I don't know what the deal is, but for some reason, they have 4 TVs. Okay, so do you see what we've done? We have to account for everybody. So I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people. Okay, the mean tells me that I have to do what first? I have to add all these up. Yikes. And you may be thinking, she is nuts. And I'm going to show you a shortcut here. But I wanted you to see the picture first. Here is a much simplified version of this. Now you could add them up just like I have them there, but I want to show you this too. There were 5 people that said they have 1 TV. There were 3 people who said they have 2 TVs. There were 2 people who said they have 3 TVs. And there were 2 people who said they have 4 TVs. So we can add this up and get a much shorter problem. 5 times 1 is 5. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. And 2 times 4 is 8. So you can add it right here, or you can add it right there. And either way is going to give you the same amount. So let's go ahead and add these up. I'm going to do it right here because it's a little bit simpler. So 5 plus 6 plus 6 plus 8. And you can use your calculator to do that. I am going to, because I don't want to get to the end of this and realize that I added the wrong thing. So we're talking about 25 TVs and 12 people in our study, or 12 houses in our study. So 25 divided by 12 is, yikes, 2.08 and a whole bunch of 3s. That's your mean, guys. It's about 2 TVs per household. That's the average. Now, some houses have more than that, and some houses have less. But the average, if you just walked into an American household based on this data, the average household would have 2 TVs. Okay, the median. Now, for median, remember we have to put these in order. So this list is the list that I want. And I'm using commas this time because I'm not planning on adding anything. I'm just listing all the households in my study. Make sure you get them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we have to find the middle, the median. So half of 12 is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the median is right there. Nope, sorry. Sorry about that. The median is right there. There are 6 houses on one side and 6 houses on the other. The median is right smack in the middle. And you can add 2 and 2 and divide by 2, but you're going to not get, there's nothing between a 2 and a 2. It has to be a 2. So the median is 2, which is very close to our mean. And that is not unusual. That's a good sign. The median and the mean will be close because they're measures of central tendency. Okay, the mode is the one that you see the most. So if you look at this data, especially back up here in this data, right there, which response had the most people? Well, it's the 1. You've got more X's there in the 1s. If you look at the data right here, you can also see it. Let me get a highlighter. You see how you've got more 1s than anything else? That's your mode. Most people have 1 TV. Mode is most. And for our data set, the mode is 1. So mode is 1, median is 2, mean is about 2. And then to get your range, you take the biggest one, the most, which is 4, minus the lowest one, so the range is 3. There's a little bit of difference, but not a huge amount of difference. The range is not that big because we're talking about a relatively short distance between 1 and 4. So here are the measures. There's median. Sorry, that's not it. That's mode. Median is this one. Mean is the one you have to work for. There's a lot of work to get a mean. And then range is this one. Tough problem, guys. This stuff looks kind of easy, but once you dive into it, it can get really complicated fast. So you have to know your terms and the math that goes with those terms. Okay, in the next video, we'll look at weighted averages. I'll show you how to find that one. And then we'll look at some more word problems.